just watching me put it on, and then it's like.
I was so shocked. I was so.
What's up, Philippines? Welcome, guys. Welcome, guys, to a brand new reaction video. Sorry, I have to apologize. Just a few minutes ago, I did a swab test. We do swab tests at home at a regular basis, and whenever anything touches my nose, I got like the sniffles. The sniffles for a few hours. Yeah.
Is different, and everything is itchy, and yeah, you know.
Yeah, but good news.
It's negative.
Let's hide negative. Yeah, correct. So we have these little test kits at home. Actually, we did a whole video about these test kits.
Yes.
It's a Philippine brand. We'll link the video up here. These test kits cost 777 pesos.
Oh, 77.
777.
Oh,
777 pesos, and you can do it at home. You get connected to a nurse online. It's really, really cool. If you guys want to get test kits for at home, we'll put the number here. Yep. Boop.
Or in the description.
Or in the description, and you just text that number with #test_now, and you can get your tests at home. Really cool. But that's not what we're here for.
No.
We are here for a reaction video. Nelly, what is it we're reacting to today?
Okay, today we're reacting to a video about life in the Philippines versus Hungary.
Life in the Philippines versus life in Hungary. Very interesting. I think Hungary and Austria are very similar.
Very similar, yeah.
From the lifestyle.
Neighboring countries.
They also used to belong together. It
In
was
a
one
kingdom.
empire, the Habsburg Empire.
Yes.
And yeah, it's like a neighboring country, yeah.
I think we might relate to a few things.
I think so too. Before we jump into this video, for those of you that are new around here, I'm Mike.
And I'm Nelly.
And we're two travel, food and lifestyle vloggers based here in the Philippines, but originally from Austria. Our main channel, Making It Happen vlog, is right up here.
Yeah.
Should we just jump
Yeah.
into this video? Okay, let's do it.
Hello guys and welcome back to a new video.
Hello.
So I was born in Hungary, but I moved to the Philippines when I was 21 years old.
Oh.
I was living there for 4 years, and then after I temporarily moved back to Hungary, and I'm actually going back to the Philippines as soon as possible after the virus. But now, since I lived in both countries recently, it's the best time to compare Hungary and the Philippines.
I have to pause. I
Yeah.
just thought of an amazing joke.
Yes.
That joke. Why did the Hungarian lady move to the Philippines?
Oh my god, I hope this is good.
Because she was hungry for Filipino food. Alright, sorry, let's continue.
So one of the categories that I wanted to compare is shopping. And I think that's something really fun to compare because wherever you live, you are going to shop. And the shopping experience in the two countries can be quite different. So one of the main things is how the stores are located. So in the Philippines, since it's always very, very hot and sunny, people don't prefer to walk outside so much. So that's why there's a huge mall culture there. One of the biggest malls in Asia, and actually some of the biggest malls in the whole world, are located in the Philippines. And basically whatever you want to do, you will probably be able to do it in a mall. There are of course gadget shops, clothing shop, restaurants, food courts, but there's also banks, even some offices, post office, doctor, even arcades. In Hungary, the malls are not that significant.
Yes,
In Budapest, in the capital, there are a few malls that are a bit bigger, but even those are considered small compared to the ones in the Philippines. And then in smaller cities, like where I live, for example, the malls are just really tiny. Basically, people mostly go there to just have fun with their friends, to do some shopping for clothes, but it's definitely not the place where you will find everything that you need. In Hungary, a lot of shops are located outside, which actually can be a lot of fun because there are some really nice streets where you can walk around, and then there will be boutiques and shops on both sides of the road. And in Hungary, if you have a lot of things that you will want to get done and a lot of things that you will need to buy, you will probably have to move around a lot in the city. You will have to walk from one street to another because a lot of shops and stores are located somewhere randomly outside on the streets.
Yeah,
Another shopping related thing that I think it would be really fun to compare is markets. The Philippines and Asia in general is famous for its colorful and exciting public markets. Markets in Hungary are very controlled and very organized. There are even some market-related offices in the building of the market in Hungary that is managing everything connected to the market. I'm not really sure what they are doing exactly.
It's called bureaucracy.
But it just shows how controlled everything is inside. There are even some proper shops on the sides of the market, and even the typical market style means that there are some really long benches or desks in some lines, and then people can rent out a spot from that and put their products out. The markets usually have a closed part, so it can also operate during the winter, but of course it also have an outside part which resembles a little bit more to the Asian style market, but it's still very controlled, still very organized. It's basically almost just like another shop where you can get your fresh products. In the Philippines, it's a lot more different. It's so colorful, so full of life, and so exciting. Of course, especially to me as a foreigner. In the last year, when I was living in the Philippines, I regularly did my groceries for vegetables and fruits in the public market. But before that, I was quite scared to go because it felt like a huge miss to me. I just had no idea how to get around. After some time, I developed the skills of not getting...
I also need to stop. I remember that one day when we were in Bohol, we went with our friend Pia to the public market, and something that is...
But this wasn't like the public market in Tacloban or Panglao. This was on the west coast of Bohol Island. We were going to Camiguin the same day with the boat.
And we approached the market, and as we approached the market, I saw big things hanging.
There was literally a guy standing there with a pig's head in his hand. He's like,
and I was so shocked. I was so like, I don't know. In that moment, I didn't know what to say. But you know, thinking back, it's not a big deal, because something that I learned also through the whole market experience in the Philippines is that you need to know where your food comes from. You need to know, you need to have a connection to your food. So seeing the actual animal makes you appreciate it even more than going to a supermarket and having it all pre-packed. And it's all very clean. It's all very separated from the other parts of the market. So it's all good, safe to eat. And
I think you call it like the wet market.
The wet market, And even in Chagall, we did a lot of wet market shopping, market shopping in general.
Exclusively,
so,
almost.
So we got pretty much used to it.
Lost in the public market, and I quite enjoy shopping there, but it can be a lot if it's your first time there. And one other thing that is very unique to the markets in the Philippines is that it has a lot of life, and by that I mean that, for example, once when we went to the public market, we saw a man who was grinding his own coconut there, and they were making some nata de coco, which is a coconut jelly that is popular in the Philippines. So a lot of people are making their products within the market if you venture deeper into it. In Hungary, it's not really a thing. In Hungary, the market is really just another store. In the Philippines, it's full of life, which is a lot of fun, I think. So now let's talk a little bit about grocery shopping.
I did a whole dedicated video
There's a fun
about
little difference between going to the cashier in Hungary compared to the Philippines. So in Hungary, when you are going to the cashier, first of all, you will have to bring your own plastic bag or eco bag. The shop won't provide it for you, and you will have to put the products that you bought by yourself into that bag that you brought. And you will have to do it really quickly, because the cashier will basically just go like this, and you will you will have to cut your product and put it in the shopping bag really quickly before the next customer comes, because then it's just going to be uncomfortable that you are still organizing your stuff and the next customer's stuff is coming already. It's really quick and really stressful, and I don't really like it, but it's very effective and quick. So in the Philippines, in most grocery stores and supermarkets, they will provide a plastic or a paper bag for you, and the cashier will put all the products that you got in those bugs. We'll basically just have to stand and watch and observe. Because of this, it's a lot slower process, of course. It might annoy some people if they are in a hurry, but I think it's only a few minutes of difference, and it's worth it.
Don't
for
be in a
more
hurry when you
calm
go
and
grocery
peaceful
shopping.
feeling that you will have. One more thing that is very common in the Philippines is random side road shops. So basically, wherever you are going on a road in the Philippines with your car or motorcycle, you will probably see some random shops on the side of the road
Those
selling
are my favorite.
basically all kinds of products. Most of the times it's fresh fruits and vegetables, sometimes some street food or some coconut water. In Hungary, there's a few like this, but it's definitely not as common as it is in the Philippines. In Hungary, it mostly happens during summer.
You know how they call them in Austria?
Huh?
Illegal.
No, there are little fruit stands
In
dedicated.
Austria?
Yeah, where
On the
people
side of the
sell-
road?
Where people sell strawberries sometimes.
Yeah, but that is
That's
it.
actually
Nine. That is against the regulations of
Well,
Austria.
you have to ask for permission.
Yeah, you need- it
first.
needs to
You
be
need
permitted.
Yeah, so
And
it's a whole different story.
It'll be declined.
But okay, while
You
we
can
stop,
apply for a permit, but they will decline.
while we stop, let me just share a reverse culture shock. And with reverse culture shock, I mean when we came back from the Philippines to Austria, and we went grocery shopping, and as she pointed out, they're very quick with the product, so they just pull it over and they're super quick, and you kind of get stressed out to put everything in your bag. But when we came back to Austria, we're just standing there and looking at it, and we kind of thought that somebody is going to put it in a bag. You know, it's very common here in the Philippines. So Mike was just standing
it's like,
there like.
It's like very, very funny when we went to the grocery store. Editor, please put in here the song Investigations. It's so funny. We went to the grocery store, and like I go there to the till, and I'm like, "Good morning," and the lady's like, and I'm okay, cool. So I put like my items onto the cash register, and this lady's just watching me put it on, and then it's like, and like all the products are like over there, like, is somebody gonna? Me, okay.
Do you have a box?
Yeah.
Nice little story.
When it's the season of like watermelons or strawberries, then you will also see some people selling these on the sides of the road, but there's a lot more of these in the Philippines. So the next topic that I want to compare is traffic and transportation. So in Hungary, I have to separate Budapest and the rural areas here, because I think in Budapest the public transportation is great. I know a lot of Hungarian who lives in Budapest likes to complain about public transportation, but in my opinion it's actually great. There's a lot of different ways of public transportation there. There's underground, buses, trolleys, trams. I'm sure I'm even forgetting some. But in like smaller cities and in rural areas, it's not really the case. For example, where I live, it's really difficult for me to get to somewhere. There might be a place that is like, let's say, 5 kilometers away from me only, but to get there, I will need to go to the bus stop, wait for a bus. With that bus, I will go to the main city center. There I will walk to another bus stop, get on another bus, and that's what will bring me to the place where I want to go. And I will basically travel for like an hour just to get somewhere that was only a few kilometers away from me. This is why a lot of people in Hungary are using bicycles, which is actually great because it's very healthy, it's good for the environment. It's a lot better to just bike somewhere that is near you instead of waiting for an hour to get around with a bus. This is why on every sidewalk where people can walk, there will usually be a bicycle road as well, so it will be safer for bikers to go around. In the Philippines, public transportation is completely different. So while in Hungary the main public transportation outside of Budapest is buses, in the Philippines, buses are mostly going on longer distances. Like, I know there are some local buses that are going within the city in like Clark and in Manila, but other than that, it's mostly for long time travel. Within the city, the most popular way of getting around for locals is using jeepneys. And I'm actually not an expert of jeepneys. I've only ridden some a few times in my life while I was living in the Philippines. I don't really know how exact it is, like how much they stick to a schedule, but it seems that locals exactly know where to stand on the street when they want to get on a jeepney, and it seems they know when it will come. And what's good about jeepneys is that
there are
I know
barely
they will
any
also have a route,
bus stations like in
a
Austria.
way where they go around, like the buses in Hungary, but in Hungary you can only get off a bus in a bus stop. You can just tell the driver that you want to get off now. With jeepneys, I think within that route that the jeepney is taking, you can just tell the driver anytime that you want to get off now, and then it will stop for you. And then besides jeepneys, of course, there are the tricycles, which are really common in the Philippines. I know a lot of people don't like them because they can create a lot of traffic, but I think in a controlled way it could be a great way of public transportation, because it will literally bring you from door to door wherever you want to go. You can do it. I would actually love some tricycle here in Hungary because it would make it getting around a lot easier. So these three categories are the things that I collected for this video. I think there's a lot more to talk about comparing the two countries. So if you would like to see a part 2 of this video, this is for part 2 of this video, then you could write your recommendations in the comment sections, what else you would like me to compare. Or while I'm still in Hungary, you could tell me what you would like to see to show you about the life here. But this is all for this video because I think it's already getting a bit long. So thank you for watching, and I will see you next week in my next video. Bye!
It's only 10 minutes.
Lovely video. One note to jeepneys. If you're a foreigner driving in the Philippines and you see a jeepney pulling over to the right side of the road, slow down, because pulling to the right side often is followed by swerving left into the road, and then you drive, you're like,
You mean tricycles?
Tricycles, yeah.
Yeah, you said jeepneys.
Oh, no, tricycles. Sorry, tricycles.
They usually go like this.
Yeah. Oh, awesome video. I enjoyed that.
Good comparison as well. I think we could relate with a few points as well.
Yeah, most of them.
We use a lot of tricycles in the provinces when we are traveling. We just usually go via tricycle because it's super cheap to get around. And it's super easy. So.
Alright guys, if you enjoyed today's reaction video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. If you have any recommendations, videos you want to see us react to, in the description down below you'll find the link where you can submit your recommendations. Join our Viber group. We share a lot of fun like pictures and stories and anecdotes, and when we do new uploads, we'll share it over there. Also, check out our main channel, Making It Happen blog, and with that being said, we'll see you guys tomorrow on What's Up Philippines? Bye bye.